Hi, my name is Phoenix and welcome to TFL Design, where I do anything but design because that is my day job and I'm too exhausted to do it at night as well. Today we're going to chill a bit and just talk about where I am in my life, what I plan to do with this channel, I guess, and, just some updates while I show some of the activities I've been doing this month, these past few weeks, while I do some shopping, while I attend some events, and just go through some things and explain where I want to take this channel and what my channel's been up to behind the scenes. You might have noticed lately I've been uploading a lot of videos about bags and stuff like that. This is not supposed to be a bag channel, so for anybody that is following me thinking this is a channel about bags and lifestyles, you're in the wrong place. I'm sorry. While I really do love bags and it is one of my more recent hobbies, you will be very disappointed to know that it's not something that I plan to do often. I don't do luxury hauls of me buying designer shoes and jewelry and everything. It is literally just bags itself, and I do not have an infinite amount of money that I plan to spend on it. But how did this hobby begin in the first place? Well, I was looking for a specific bag, a shoulder bag. I found one that I finally liked, my first luxury bag ever. It was a Givenchy bag. And I was like, oh cool, I love this design. And then I checked the price to it and I was like, what the? Yeah, so I was like, wow, do people actually spend money? I know that people spent money on bags. I was one of those tomboyish girls growing up. I would never, do this. I would never have multiple bags. I would never wear a dress. Obviously, if you know me, you know my upbringing and, how I changed over time. But in general, while having multiple bags is a thing, like I had like 5, right? Maybe 3 to 5, but they were in various stages of wearing. Like I would only get a new bag if, the strap broke or it was started peeling or something. This was actually one of the first times where I was buying a bag for its looks and not so much as something that would be functional for everyday usage. For example, since it's winter for like 9 months of the year up here in Canada, I'm just joking, but let's run with it. I would not wear a shoulder bag to tuck under my arm when I'm wearing a puffy jacket, for example, because I would look like a giant snowball carrying another tinier dumpling underneath my arms. So this was definitely supposed to only be a summer bag, which is why originally my idea was to get something like bright red or even bright pink, because I always wear black during all seasons and I wanted a pop of color for summer. But anyway, where was I? I had to think to myself, is this justified? And then I looked around my house and then I looked around at my current hobbies. As you all know, I collect a lot of statues and figures. They're not the cheap ones. They're the ones that you pre-order 1 or 2 years in advance, and it gets to you when it gets to you. It's hand-painted and limited edition where, there'd be only like 500 of them or 1,000 of them made, and then they stop making them forever. So I pay good money for those to just sit around my house to look at, which, some people might think is really dumb too. So I already spent money on that. And even before that, as many of you know, I spend a lot of money on guns and ammo. It's not a cheap hobby to have, especially with the amount that I shoot every time I go to the range, and the amount of stuff in my armory. If you tally that up yourself, you can gather that I've spent a nice chunk of money there. So I've always had this collector and spending habit, let's say. Anyway, because of the increasing restrictions with Canadian gun laws, I had already kind of slowed down on my gun purchases. I say slow down, but as soon as they banned handguns, on the last day that they were banned, I bought 2 more. So you can look forward to me receiving those whenever they come, after all the paperwork and stuff are done. And in terms of the statues, I'm slowly running out of room in my place for statues. Slowly, but I can always fit more if I just, decided I want to just tiptoe around my place rather than walk freely. So I've slowed down on those too. Plus I have so many that are still waiting to be shipped to me, or, pre-ordered, and they haven't fully painted them yet. It's been years for them. So more of those are coming. And so in the meantime, I was like, all right, let me use this money to spend on something that, I could use on an everyday basis, or, special occasions, or whenever I feel like using these bags. And that's how I justified my purchases for these expensive luxury bags. Now the difference is, I started this luxury journey for bags around April. No, I'm wrong. No, I started looking around April, but I didn't actually buy one until around July, I believe. July was when I first bought it. And since then, I've been sort of, maybe a little bit going crazy, and bought quite a few luxury bags. Here's my rules with spending. If I don't have that money in the bank, sitting in the bank currently, I would not buy it. Because while the idea of paying it in smaller payments over time sounds great and all, I still feel that's very dangerous for something that is a luxury and that isn't, like a mortgage, for example. Car payments and mortgages, sure, but for a bag, that seems like a bit much to me, especially since I work from home and I actually don't have a chance to use these bags unless I'm out shopping, or I have an event to go to, or, just hanging out with friends. So because of that, I try to watch what I buy, but at the same time, I'm able to be very free with how much I spend. So I have to make a mental note of, is it worth it? Will you get bored of this later? And basically be a reasonable adult with my spending habits. So anyway, let's talk about where I want to take this channel. If you've seen my original video where I returned to doing anything major in social media, where I talk about, why I quit Twitch streaming, I had said I don't have a specific niche I want to fill. I don't want to be a gun girl or a gamer girl or whatever, a bag or luxury channel. Rather just kind of show how monotonous my life is without actually being boring. I hope I'm not boring. If anything, I hope these videos just serve as good background noise as you do your homework, take a poop. I don't know what you're doing right now, but good for you. But mostly the reasons I wanted to do these videos was to practice my editing skills and give me something to do that would take several hours out of my day. Basically, I needed a hobby that wasn't shopping. If I'm not doing something, I find myself browsing, looking for stuff to buy, and that's just not good. It's rather addicting, and so I was like, you know what? You need a hobby. Other than gaming all day, you need to be doing something that is productive and might create something that leads to something else. So I figured, why not just, dust off this old YouTube channel and do something with it. I had said in the future I'd be taking some vacations, and I will be, and I'll take you guys along with me there. I'm not going to say where yet, but it's going to be fun, I promise. As long as World War III doesn't happen, because, oh boy, traveling abroad sounds really fun when there are missiles flying back and forth between countries where you might have to fly over, right? But in the meantime, I'll just continue testing the waters and looking at my YouTube analytics to see what works and what doesn't. I don't want to chase away the current audience that I have, as small as it is. I don't want to alienate them and make them listen to stuff that might not particularly be interesting to them. At the same time, this is an experiment that I hope to succeed in, So I will try to direct and figure out what I want to do with this channel and my life in general, as things come along. Just taking a day at a time and just living life. So yeah, if you're still interested in listening to what I have to say and what I plan to do in the future, I know I want to eventually do some, not reviews necessarily, because I don't want to make this like a review channel where you just listen to me talk about an episode of something or an entire movie. But as many of you may know, I am I wouldn't say I'm a movie buff, but I do frequent the movie theater quite often. And I do have thoughts about them, and I do enjoy talking to people about it and looking up reviews and reading through comments and Reddit and everything just to see what other people think about it. And I do wish I had friends to kind of back and forth on it. I need friends. So I'm hoping that you guys would leave a comment below and, tell me your thoughts on what I can do to speak to you specifically, improve the channel, what topics you'd like me to cover. And yeah, let's just remember to keep it sort of family friendly. I don't think guns are family friendly, are they? Well, I make sure to check that, none of my videos are for children, that's for sure. Want to keep us safe with that. But I don't want to be too PC either, because I'm not that type of person, and I don't want to pretend I am, which is why, even though some of my bag-related videos are doing well, I warn that, once again, I am not that type of channel. I am going to crack jokes about bags and, throwing a Glock in a bag once in a while. So if you're here to look for a very preppy lady person talk about their love for luxury, this is not it. I don't live that kind of life. I'm totally not ladylike, even though I should try to be at my age and career in life. I don't know. It's hard. I'm still very much a child. Well, anyway, I hope I haven't bored you too much. I'm going to end it here, and yeah, follow, like, and subscribe if you feel like it, or just comment below about how much I suck at everything in life, to which I'll just shrug and go, but do I really? And then go hug one of my scantily clad statues. Cry, 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 cry.